Hey friends, Alessandra here. We're in the garage checking on our worms. We're having a bit of a worm situation. So, I don't even know where to begin. We have been all over the place trying to keep these worms warm. I did just blankets. I have some seed starter mats in here. And then a couple days ago, I was like, well, we're getting really cold temperatures. There's a high wind advisory. And I, you could tell I didn't cover the whole top. I just lightly draped our moving blankets on top. And I got notifications from my Bluetooth thermometer that's in here that it is getting below our threshold of being dry. So below, I think I have it set to like an 80%, which is crazy because I just put water in, so much so that it leaked out the bottom because it not only... I put less than a gallon in. I don't know if you can tell. You probably can't at this moment because it's crazy in here. But there's a little, there's a little plastic drip catch, like what you get mushrooms in from the grocery store. I have one of those in there. It overflowed so much that it filled that whole thing up and it dripped out here. Like, that is crazy. But during Christmas, we had some electrical issues where this lost power, the whole garage lost power. So, it's just been a roller coaster. But the problem is I haven't been able to get it consistent enough where it maintains the temperature without the humidity drying out, because obviously the heat dries things out, to the point where I even had essentially some like little burn marks in here. I'll show you in a second. So I'm just at a loss of what to do. I have some ideas we're going to talk about today, but I'd love to kind of get your guys' opinion on what you think we should do. So let me get the tripod set up so we can go through this together and see what's going on inside. I know the shadows aren't great, but it is what it is out here, especially in the garage, and I don't want to put the door up right now. So, hey everybody. So I've kind of had some of our moving blankets draped around outside a little bit here. And we have... obviously our worms on some heat mats. There's two of them in here, two narrow ones, and this is pretty warm. But here's the thing, you can see a little bit here, a little bit there, like that got so dry it turned the paper, like kind of, I guess, burnt. So we're reading about, well, this is, it's dropping quickly because we opened it up, but let's say 55% humidity. My phone was saying it was about 70 something, but 65 degrees on the top layer, which is good. It's definitely dry here, but obviously, the bottom part of the bin is, well, we know it's not, because the water dripped out so much on the other end. So we're kind of in a little bit of a predicament because we also know that we haven't really had our worms that long, right? I think we bought 1,000 earlier this year and got them in here, but they were never like rocking and rolling like we were in our Florida setup. So I've been trying to insulate as much as I can up here. Some of this is pretty wet, but I'm confident if we dig to, I think, the area where the last food was, which I want to say is back here maybe. It's been so long since I actually fed them because they weren't eating, because it's cold and there's really just not a lot of them. Yeah, I don't really know what to do. But let me get my scooper. That will help. Alright, we got our scooper. That way I'm not sticking my fingers in there. I'm pretty sure one of the last peels was in this back area here. And sure enough, I see a banana peel. But you guys might remember from a couple months ago when we were checking on them, I wasn't really digging super deep because I was like, they're new, they're getting so, I don't want to disrupt them. And 1,000 worms in a container this big, especially now that we have so much bedding in it, is kind of, it's not the right proportion. We should have much more worms, but we were trying to let them populate on their own, kind of old-fashioned way. But I don't want to dig too hard here, but I'm not saying there are no worms, but I don't see them. And they might not be here. Wait, see one? Did I see one? Oh, turns out that's paper. So, I'm a little unsure what to do at this point, because I don't think we can keep soaking and drying, because the bottom's clear, we've got plenty of moisture, the top is drying out from the mats, and it's just not keeping them evenly warm, at least at this point, because our bin is so new and there's just not a lot of activity in it. So I'm trying to come up with ideas of alternative options on what to do. I think for right now, I am going to be taking the heat mats out of the top, because the warm air rises anyway, so I'm not even sure it's helping, or I should say I know it's not helping the middle as much, because that's several degrees cooler. I know because I have one of the same thermostats. Let's see somewhere. Oh, here's. I have an exact same one of these that I put in a bag, and then like a little Ziploc baggie, and I buried it in the middle. So I know it's running at least on average 4 or 5 degrees cooler than this. So if they go down deeper, you would think they would be warmer, but they're not, because they're heat sources up here. So we're in a bit of a tricky situation. So I have two thoughts on what we could do. I have a Home Depot not too far away. I could go to Home Depot and I could get us, I don't know, half a dozen, big 5-gallon buckets, and we can create some sort of like stacked concoction that we could put in our basement maybe. It was a poor situation for the worms. So I'm going to go ahead and layer up as many blankets as I can find for these worms, and as soon as I come up with an idea or solution, I will start sharing that with you. But for right now, worms are maybe alive, probably somewhat alive, but they are cold and wet. So we got to figure out how to keep them comfy over the winter, because we still got a couple more months to go. All right, friends. Well, thanks for listening to the worm struggles today. I'm Alessandra. We'll talk soon with some updates. Bye.